The Office of the Parliament celebrates International Women's Day 2022. Gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow.
As the women's movements evolve, we have a greater awareness moving from gender equality to gender equity, because now we recognize the different structural abuses that women face that has left women and men at a gap. And so gender equity recognizes that, okay, there's this gap that existing, let us put resources towards women, opportunities towards women, so that we close the gap and break the bias. And so, you know, that's how I see the women's empowerment movement evolve over the years, you know, advocating for gender-based violence. I also believe in modern times that we embrace social media and use it as a strategic tool in advocating for change. So we take the fight against gender-based violence to our social media, but at the same time, we're also ingrained and deeply embedded in our communities and coming up with solutions within our communities that are unique and specific to the solution, to the community, so that they are also part of that change as well. So we're not just coming out as outsiders into the community, we're evolving with the community and creating change with them. Unfortunately, I see that gender-based violence and the perpetuation of gender-based violence have evolved in terms of taking up social media and carrying that message of, you know, women are inferior to men on social media. And so we see that in revenge pornography, we see that in berating women online. Yes, it is a pervasive issue on social media, and we do have to recognize, yes, that all these different social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, have to have stricter guidelines, but at the same time, we as persons that use social media every single day, we have a role to play in making sure that social media is a safe place for all. Now we don't only have to face gender-based violence in Trinidad and Tobago. Now it's gender-based violence globally, because, you know, social media is a global platform. So we're also getting ideologies and microforms of gender-based violence coming from international, affecting our local climates. And so, yes, we have to back to taking the active role in, you know, advocating for change on social media. That started being self-aware, recognizing the things that you see, you know, asking victims of domestic violence, you know, why you didn't leave, on, you know, why you was wearing that. So all of that put blames on the victim and not the perpetrator. And so those are just micro ways that we perpetuate gender-based violence on social media. So, you know, yes, we also have to do that, as well as start holding the perpetrators accountable on social media. Sophia Alexander, the founder of Caribbean Feminists, Ashley Burnett, the founder of FemTT, Rihanna Sanka, Renessa, Joseph, Chrisette Benjamin. All these are phenomenal women doing their part, taking up that mantle, and definitely as well embracing social media to advocate for change. And one of the things I see more and more is that we're taking an active role in our communities as well. So going back to that grassroots and making sure that we're not leaving out generations. So, you know, at times that we are so focused on social media that we forget our grassroots communities as well. And I had an opportunity to be in Mayaro a Saturday in March, where we were able to speak to members of the community, and about, you know, it was really sad to see that 4 to 5 persons I spoke to, women I spoke to, were survivors of GBV. And so, you know, they're saying that, you know, they are over 50s and over 50, and it was only last year that they were like, you know, I was only able to come out just then, you know. And so they're saying that, you know, because I experienced this, I don't want others to experience this as well. So I'm taking an active role in my community. I'm speaking out. I'm taking up space. And so, yes, we all have these phenomenal, you know, activists, I would have called, but we also have to recognize the community women in their communities taking charge and holding conversations about gender-based violence. And so I do think that those are new players as well. I'm very confident in the women's movement ability to advocate for change, and I definitely see that as the new forms of gender-based violence evolve, our advocating has also been evolving to adapt with the movement, so that, you know, in the next generation to come, it's definitely our hope that we don't have to deal with this pervasive issue. I would say that women have the power. Do not be limited by your socioeconomic situation, your marital status, your educational status. Society tells us that, you know, all of these different factors contribute to our roots, and so you have a certain level of power ascribed to you because of that specific thing. And I would say, don't limit yourself to that. Don't put yourself in a box. You have the power to change, and I always say, start where you are with what you have, even if that's simple as making a stand against gender-based violence, educating yourselves, reading a book, reading a magazine, having a conversation with your mother or sister or brother. All of those are ways that you have the power to change your situation and the situations of others. So I want to end with this quote that says, and that I created, that says that social change starts with conversations and ends with community. So as you take up the mantle of becoming more aware of how you as a person may perpetuate gender-based violence, also take your community along with you and have conversations and engage one another, because social change starts with conversation and being self-aware, but it ends with community, where we all have to come together and change and unite towards this specific goal, which is changing our current situation in Trinidad and Tobago.
The Office of the Parliament celebrates International Women's Day 2022. Gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow.